Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Today's discussion topic is going to be, do not worry about what is in the stall next to you. Automotive mechanic competition. So this is what's going on. So when I was at the dealership, everything was competitive. How fast can a tech get it done, or a mechanic can get it done, to how many cars you can get out in a day, to what types of work you were getting, you know, flushes, brake jobs, all the easy stuff that you can just bang up and rack up the hours, to how many PDIs or used cars you can get done in a day, to how fast you can do tire rotation or whatever, you know, how much can you upsell on one ticket. Everything was competition. And it was so competitive at the dealership level that even the techs were starting to kind of get a little bit annoyed by what was going on in the stall next to them, because they would see some of the younger guys that didn't have their certs and weren't even trying to get their Chrysler certs getting all the gravy stuff, all the gravy tickets, all the flushes, you know, the quick tire rotations, the 4 tires, the alignments, the brake jobs, just you name it, the easy, super easy shit. And the guys that were kind of getting the shaft into the deal, because they had all their certs, were getting stiffed with all the warranty work, all the airbag recalls and the wind module recalls and the software updates, which software updates could be beneficial as long as your internet connectivity was good. But if the internet connectivity wasn't good and it started to drop out or whatever, sometimes you'd have to try to do that flash like 3 or 4 times, and you'd like far go beyond what the normal warranty time called for. So internet connectivity during a flash update can just be a nightmare. Also so competitive that some of the other techs would just be straight assholes and park right behind you, so you couldn't even get the car out without trying to find them, chase them down in the shop, say, hey, can you move the car real quick? And they're like, oh, I can't. I'm in the middle of a flash update and I got to get this other one out of here, so while it's flashing, I'm going to pull this one out and pull something else in, and then when it gets done flashing, then I'll move it. So that kind of dicked over the other guy that was in the stall next to you, so he couldn't back out and get the work out. So that's how competitive it was. And people would get annoyed with some of the tickets that we would see from like some of the younger techs that didn't even want to be certified. They just wanted to try to make their hours, get their pay, and freaking vominos. And we'll talk about how the California pay scale works for mechanics in another video. But getting back on track, you could see how competitive it was at the dealership level. I haven't felt that at the independent shop, you know? No one bitches about the work they get. Everyone just kind of just goes with it. We might joke around a little bit with some of the other guys, like when we know they're on a pain in the ass job, like, oh, you get all the easy stuff. But that's pretty much the extent of it, man. We just kind of bust each other's balls a little bit, but no one ever really complains about any of the work, you know? The service manager and the shop owner, they come out, they hand out the tickets, and we go to work. We don't think about it. There's no competition as far as like trying to, you know, get as much labor hours as more than the other person, or, you know, one person stepping over someone else's shoes by jumping on their job as fast as they can or anything like that. My whole goal since I've been at the independent shop is to I'm focused on myself. And the only thing that I focus on throughout the day is trying to get done as much work as I possibly can in one day. I don't stress myself out about it if a part is delayed and I can't get to it, or I'm working on something else while I'm, you know, tied up on another rack waiting for a part to come in. I don't get stressed out if for whatever reason the car doesn't get out, or maybe I do get it done fast, wham bam done, and I park it in the go home pile, and the customer is just like, you know what, I'm on a business trip, I'll be back in a few days, I'll see you Monday of next week. So the hours don't get calculated for that week and they get added to the ticket for the next week. So way different mentality. Like I said, very competitive at the dealership, and people were always concerned, technicians or mechanics were always concerned about what somebody else had in their stall. And at the independent shop, it's just not like that. You know, everyone works together to try to make the shop as much money as possible, and we all help each other. You know, if Shane or Martin or anybody else around the shop needs my assistance, I'll run over there, and vice versa. If I'm struggling or I have a subframe that I have to drop and I need 2 or 3 sets of extra hands, shop owner and Shane or Martin will come on over and we'll just drop the subframe. Everybody is there for one goal. It's not a power game, it's not a competition. The one goal is how many hours can we produce for the shop this week? And everyone's just trying to do their job to make sure that the shop makes enough money to go to the next week. So that, I think that's our biggest goal at the independent shop, is working together as a team to just make sure we make the shop, you know, a good amount of money during that work week and trying to get as much done as we possibly can in that work week. So just be aware of that. If you happen to be in this kind of situation, whether you're at an independent shop, because not all independent shops are like family owned, operated, not all of them are mom and pop, you know, like, and some of them might actually kind of feel like a dealership a little bit. And if that's how your independent shop is, if it is more of like an individual kind of game and not a team game, then I feel sorry for you. I really do. Because I think you're missing the best part about the independent shop, which is having that family or that camaraderie. And the only thing that I can kind of chalk my shop experience up to as far as being in this independent shop, it's kind of like being in the military, you know. Everybody knows everybody, you know, from the way they walk in the dark to the way they freaking eat their food. That's just the way that it is. So, and if you don't have that experience at your independent shop, because it is more of an independent and very solo mio kind of a game, then again, I feel sorry for you, man, because it can be so much more than that if everyone's on the same exact, you know, playing field and they're working together to get, you know, the jobs done and make the shop money. And I just, yeah, I can't, it's hard for me to understand where you're coming from if that's where you're coming from. I do understand the mentality behind it, because that's the kind of mentality that was at the 2 different or 3 different dealerships that I was at. Everyone was in it for themselves and that was it. Fuck you and it's all about me. But it's not that way at the shop that I'm at. So any rate, I just wanted to try to throw that out there for you guys in a video, that if you are working for a family independent shop or something like that, or you're at a dealership and you're struggling with this kind of competition that's taking place, don't worry about it. You know, don't stress out about it. Just focus on trying to get as much work done in a day as you possibly can. Don't worry about what's in somebody else's stall. Don't worry about who's getting the gravy tickets or whatever else. Just focus on doing the best job that you possibly can do and provide the best quality of work, and to try to get as much work done within that quality as you can in one day. So that's pretty much all I got for this video, guys. I hope it helps you to better understand how things are, how things could be, and hopefully you can learn something from this. So that's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks as always for watching. Cheers to those of you that have your beers, and I hope you're enjoying your work week. We'll see you next time. Deuces.